Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billy's the wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billy's the wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billy's the wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Another day is here. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billy's. Wake up, Billy's. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Billy's our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place for calling WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place for calling WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place for calling WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place for calling WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place for calling WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place for calling WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WUB, get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's not so it no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB, wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WUB, be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Billies our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation.
Welcome, this is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Friday morning, the 29th day of August 2025. This is the last Friday in this month. The time is moving fast according to some of us, but slow according to a lot of people. We welcome you to the program this morning. I think you will find our guests later on quite interesting, full of information, especially for young people. That will come up a little bit later on in the program. But as you know, we begin with looking at the weather and getting an update from our news center. We'll open the phone lines a little bit after 7 o'clock. And as I said, we do have guests coming in later on. So we want you to stay tuned for the entire WUB on a Friday morning.
Good morning, Belize. Satellite and surface observation showed we are currently experiencing foggy conditions in the Ladyville area. Our latest radar imagery for this morning showed a few light to moderate showers near the coast of Placencia and Punta Gorda. Somewhat moist and unstable conditions lingers over the area. The 24-hour forecast: skies will be cloudy at times. Showers or thunderstorms will be generally isolated, except for a few more over the south this morning and later tonight. The maximum temperatures for today will reach 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 92 inland, and 82 up in the hills. The low temperatures for tonight will be around 79 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 73 inland, and 68 up in the hills. The winds will be light and variable at first, becoming east to southeasterly at 5 to 10 knots later this morning, and the sea conditions will be slight. A low tide will occur this morning at 8:26, followed by a high tide this afternoon at 2:05, another low tide tonight at 7:33, and another high tide early tomorrow morning at 1:37. The sun rose this morning at 5:38 and will set this evening at 6:08. The moon will rise this morning at 10:52 and will set tonight at 10:11. In the Sargassum forecast, satellite and surface observations continues to show large amounts of sargassum over our area. As a result, coastal destinations will continue to be impacted during the next few days. The outlook for Saturday and Saturday night: skies will be cloudy at times, with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms occurring around the country Saturday morning. Then shower activity will decrease Saturday evening and become isolated Saturday night, except for a few more, mostly over the south. In the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. For a review of our forecast and other products, please visit our website at nms.gov.bz. With that, we end this morning's forecast from the Belize National Met Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news. The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news. The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate.
Farmers from the outskirts of Belmopan, near Mopan, found themselves at the end of an enforcement of a writ of possession obtained by Belmopan Land Development Corporation Limited for 1,394.5 acres of land. The land is located south of the George Price Highway near mile 44. As a result, workers for the company started bulldozing the properties of about 80 farmers after a court-martial visited them on Sunday to notify them of the writ. As the eviction continued yesterday, the residents who have been squatting on the land for about 7 years responded with a blockade that included tire burning. The request for the issuance of a writ was against 20 defendants. It was submitted in early June of this year. We are told that the company notified the group of farmers years ago to vacate the property. The matter went to court and the farmers won at the High Court but lost at the Court of Appeals. The farmers said that they remained on the land as they were waiting for land promised to them by Belmopan area representative Oscar Mira. Here is what some of them had to say.
I have my title and I have this place 2013. From 2013, so I don't understand why they moved us to that place. I pay for my land. Government collect for that land. So and this is property. And which in yesterday I went and paid my property tax and then collect it. And why they collect it and why they are still moving me out of my place? I have 80 lime trees since, let me say, about 5 years ago. And the place was burned down, and at the same time, one of the workers of lands come and told me that I need to move out of my place because somebody owned it. So what I did, I went to Belize City, I went to my lawyer, and he said, did the person give you a letter to move? I said no. Then he told me that I need to wait for the letter first. Then I can move.
Because I put in a word. I am Mr. Victor Cook's wife. My name is Maria Cook. The way we found out that they wanted my husband to move out was a call from the wife of this person that works at Lands, wanting my husband's phone number. So I gave her my husband's phone number, and there the gentleman called my husband and said, you can't continue working the land because that's private land already. So we immediately took action and went to see our lawyer, and the lawyer said, do you have a letter in writing stating that from the said gentleman? We said no, it was just a phone call. He said no, if there is anything to be, it needs to be in writing. Up to this day, we haven't gotten a letter, and I will call no names at this point, you know. But this is not fair. All these people working these lands for years, and now just all of a sudden they want us out. That's not fair. We're all citizens of this country. We pay our taxes. We pay our dues. We're hardworking people. You understand? So let Mr. Mira give us his face. When he wanted our votes, he was house to house visiting us, pleading for our vote, pleading for our support. So what's happening now? He came and had meeting. I came to those meetings saying, don't move, stay there, I'll help you guys. So what's happening now?
I'm a student at UB currently doing my bachelor's degrees. And since the court has come, I have 2 weeks that I stop attending school because of this issue. And And I think this is an injustice what the government is doing. Well, the government, our area have to stand up for the youth, because our minister might always speak about the youth being the future of Belize and also agriculture. So I am proceeding my career in climate smart agriculture, bachelor degrees, and I am one of the good students at UB. The professor knows me as well, the ministry knows me as well, and I am known in Belize for that. So I'm working my land hard to produce, to pay my studies, because my next goal is to do my master's degrees in agriculture, but now I am in a position that I think I have to cancel my classes because of the damage they have started. So this is shortening my budget to pay my studies. So I think we need our ministers, well, our prime minister to support us and to take this matter into matter, you know, because as a youth, I'm a hardworking youth, working the land. I'm not stealing. I'm not doing nothing against the law. I'm working the land for pay my story, to pay my story, and so at the end I could give back to my country. Just recently, last year in November, a case study of soil care from Trinidad came to my place, and we did an evaluation. I have guava trees, papayas, and livestock, and even my livestock, I had invested in artificial insemination to improve the cattle breed in Belize. And also I have invested in guava plants, passion fruit, because the government always encourage new innovation. So that's the new innovation I'm doing, you know, passion fruit, because as a youth, I'm seeing the future in Belize. Belize's future is agriculture. This is the only way Belize will boom. So I think this is unfair.
We don't lose a lot of money already. If we not stand up, nobody stand up for we. We have to do for we part. Yes, because we don't got nobody behind we to try help we. We depend for we want, so you need for try do this for make this rich to the highest man. But make we see that some people like we poor people working man, we work the land. We don't have piece of land just for have it right there. We need for work the land. And for we minister know already that we are working man. For that we need the land, and that's why we stand up right now for try to see if we could resolve something. And we live on the land, we survive on there. From there we maintain for our family. And right now we stay with nothing, we don't got no work right now, no way for go.
The farmers say, yes, on Thursday was the last day that they were given to move. The area representative later arrived on the scene and was confronted by the farmers as police stood guard on the ground. Mira proceeded to reiterate to the demonstrators that they are squatting on private land and that they, the farmers, agreed to go to court. He also reminded that a survey that was conducted during the term of the last UDP administration turned out to be illegitimate. He did accept that he committed to find them another piece of land if they moved.
There is a law and there's a process. And there's a process. I am not taking advantage. This is not even in a Belmopan. This is Belmopan boundary here. So I represent Belmopan. All right. Nobody wants to believe that this is private land. Because somebody they tell you no. Yes, and I have it. And I have it. And I have the land. And I have the land for you know. I have already done that for you know. I know. I never sleep on this thing here, bro. How I want to sleep when I don't do all of that?
No, Minister, you promised people this land. You promised them land.
No, don't instigate. You didn't even fire. No instigate, nothing. You are no fire. And this I cannot give private land to people. I cannot.
Mira says that the alternate land obtained for the farmers is through the coastal road. In Belize City yesterday, the Belize Fund for Sustainable Future announced that grant funding totaling $250,000 will be made available to enterprises based along the coastal line who are fighting to keep beaches free of sargassum. The Belize Hotel Association, BHA, and the Belize Tourism Industry Association, BTIA, who were both already planning similar initiatives, will team up to help vet the applications. Landra Cho Ricketts, the executive director of the Belize Fund, explained that they decided to get involved after realizing that the Sargassum issue is now a national concern.
This is really a national challenge or a national emergency that needed to be addressed, and the entire board agreed that it is important. And we had recently finalized our emergency response grants window, and so the discussion and the decision was that then the fund would look at engaging with the blue economy, with the Ministry of Tourism also, to see how they can help support and provide some relief to this issue. And it is, as we've all heard, it's here for as long as we are facing these challenges globally. And so the fund, beyond this support, will be looking at mechanisms to continue to provide some support, whether it's through directly to the private sector or through a response or through partnership with the government on the support that they can give to municipalities. Right?
Rolando Malik, the president of the BHA, said that the grants would be issued for projects that are not already within the jurisdiction of the municipal body.
The application process is a joint one, and so while I'm sure, because Belize is a mischievous country, while I'm sure that we will receive, both organizations will receive applications from some of the same people, it will not happen that one particular entity gets from both of our organizations, because the process, again, the vetting process is a joint process in collaboration with both organizations and our partners at the Belize Fund and the ministries. So you will only receive once. You could send 2, you could send 10 applications if you want. You will only receive once. A very key component is that we will be focusing primarily on properties that are outside of established municipal boundaries, because those properties are faced with fighting this on their own, whereas within municipal boundaries there are other initiatives and other efforts that are ongoing to get those areas clean, or try to keep them clean as best as possible these days. But we mentioned, for instance, we extended this to include offshore islands. They're obviously in nobody's jurisdiction, and so are having to go at this on their own all day, every year.
Malik also explained the type of efforts he expects that the grant will fund.
We foresee that the primary tool in every resort's toolbox right now is human capital. Once it gets to shore, there are a bunch of technologies out there, beach rakes, turtles, all sorts of stuff that can be implemented, but once it gets to shore and it locks up onto that beach, then your primary resource is going to be human resource. So we anticipate that the vast majority of the applications are going to be focused on using the grant money to fund extra labor that they're having to bring in right now. And then a smaller quantity are probably going to buy or put it towards buying some equipment. Even with the human resource, you do need things like wheelbarrows and proper rakes. We spoke about this yesterday. Not every rake is created equal, and not every rake will do the job that you need it to be doing, right? And I mean, listen, there are so many different things that need to be taken into account. Cleaning the beach is not a ABC effort. We are also battling at the same time erosion, and so you can't just go out there and rake up 10 tons of sargassum and also take up a 2 tons of sand with it as well. Sand is not easily replaceable. It can be used for a variety of things. Labor, mechanized equipment, even rental or paying third-party people to pick up, because we have to also, once we take it off the beaches, we also have to dispose of it properly as well. So it can go to, I think we had labeled about 4 different things, and that will be laid out in the application process.
The position of the Belize National Teachers Union that was put in writing to the UBAD Educational Foundation on its Natural Hair campaign is stirring controversy. The statement was framed as a union position on the support, but now teachers have stated on social media that they were unaware of the position that was taken. Inio Lopez, a trustee of the executive of the Orange Walk branch of the union, penned his dissenting position on his own in his own statement to the national president, Nadia Marin Callis. Yesterday, all the way from Chile, Callis addressed the position taken and why it was necessary.
We are now operating in 2025, and it is very important that you have a conversation with your parents and your student population. The BNTU statement is meant to provoke those things, meant to get you to act. We can no longer be creating policies and laws and just telling people this is what it's going to be. We need to discuss them. We need to get buy-in. As an individual, I have my personal view, but when you look at it from a different perspective, I have to respect that of my council and my organization. But school management and school administrations, you need to have conversation with your parent population and your students. That needs to happen. Now, where the Ministry of Education is concerned, the Ministry of Education needs to do its part. The ministry has been doing avoidance for far too long. And their policies, their ways, how we address laws, how we address rules in schools. First of all, Ministry of Education, all of these school rules, all of these school policies need to go to the District Education Council, who then forwards that to you all. The process is not being followed. And you also need to ensure too that you have evidence to prove that consultation took place. Right? These things are not happening. And now, while I am not against students being well groomed, we have to understand that we can no longer push things down people's throat. We need to converse. We need to talk about it. Teachers, you don't like when that happens in school. So you understand fully well where we're coming from. The conversation needs to be held, and the youth and the ministry needs to play its part.
Callis then specifically addressed the matter of consultation with their membership.
No, the whole allegation of us going against our membership, we're not going against our membership. Our membership understands fully well that conversations need to be held. Consultation must be done. There is a process and it needs to be followed. So if our statement is going to provoke certain things, if our statement is going to bring to reality the fact that these systems have been avoided, then so be it. But the conversation needs to be held. And the BNT is not going to step away from it. And if you notice, we never said anything about personal style. Because we're not a fan of students putting in braid all the way to their butt, like Rapunzel. We're not a fan of that. But we understand personal expression in another form, and I'll explain that clearly. There was a student who came to me when I was an admin, and I asked him to cut his hair. And he did, and he came and he said, Mrs. Callis, I want you to look at me. And I never noticed before that his ears were so huge and it stood out. And he said, I look like a koala bear. And I smiled and I said, young man, my intent was not for you to feel uncomfortable. And he said, Miss Callis, allow me to grow my hair to an appropriate length that covers my ear. And I allowed that to happen, and we discussed the appropriateness of the length and for him to feel comfortable. Those are the conversations that schools need to have. So this is not about the BNT going against its membership. This is about the BNTU saying it's time for the discussion to be held, and it is time for the Ministry of Education to act. Stop.
On August the 20th, it was reported on a social media news blog that a village meeting in Indian Creek, Toledo, was disrupted due to an all-out brawl among women, started by an altercation among two women. Pablo Mess, the executive director of the Julian Society, addressed the framing of the incident as underscoring the greater differences in the village leadership structure. He told us that critics who are encapsulating the issue in that manner are far removed from what is actually happening on the ground. If you may recall, in 2024, the alcalde and deputy alcalde of that village were changed out by government, and this was protested by some of the villagers. This matter has ended up in court.
I am very aware that it has nothing to do with a domestic issue between two women and the alcalde. Nothing at all to do with that as it's being put forward in essence. But the situation in the Gentry speaks to this misinformation, this mistrust that exists between how we should move forward and how we can anchor moving forward in our ways, as we've heard today, that are very important to having well-governed communities, to having a better capacity to adapt to changes. So we see a tension between the alcalde and the village council system. And when I say the alcalde and the village council, I'm not talking about the chairman or the alcalde themselves. I'm talking about two sectors of the community, where one sector sits 200, the other section sits 200. And I think the right thing to do there is to be able to have calmness prevail, for us to be able to really open our minds to accept what is the most credible pathway for Indian Creek as a community to survive under the conditions it has, conditions of not very much access to land, conditions where there's aspiration for economic development, conditions where there needs to be a coexistence between the community and protected areas. All of this have been kind of the motivation behind the flare-up that we see in the village, and it's fueled by a lot of misinformation that's put out there.
So then how is that going to be resolved?
We are confident that when there is a rational conversation at the Abing, at the village meet, that what is good will always prevail. That has been the lesson for many, many years. But I am happy to say that we have received indications from some key offices within the government that are prepared to come in and set the tone for a very calm, very rational discussion between the two leadership and between the two sectors in the community.
That's our news package for this morning, the 29th day of August 2025. At the end of the program that follows us, I'm trying to change it up so it doesn't sound like a routine that I say every morning. At the end of the program that follows us, which is the morning stew, around 12 o'clock, there is an update. Again, around 3 o'clock this evening, there is another update. And at 5:15, a full news broadcast at that time on Creme Radio. On XTV, we bring you the entire news broadcast, and that is at 6 o'clock this evening. It's now 9 minutes after 7 o'clock. Quick break, come back, and we'll begin the conversation for this morning.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025 going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, 'cause anything you want, you could request it, 'cause you
Unlimited, Toast,
every morning.
Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist,
Every girl want it, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed up by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Bringing people together.
This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm Nuri Mohammed for this Friday edition of the premier conversation here in Belize and really abroad, because we have a sizable amount of our listeners and viewers from abroad. Welcome to the program this morning. We, as I said, have a guest coming in after 2 cents scam this morning, but our phone lines are now open to entertain any calls that you might want to put in. 280-5848, 280-5848. Some people, maybe don't understand the role that this media plays for us every morning. Not every morning that you see us come with a smile on our face, it means that all things are good and everything is good for us. But we are taught, and I have certainly been taught, don't start off your morning with a dragging face and a whole thing by your face, because people read into your whole thing there. Because that's nature. Human beings can detect a whole lot just by a glance. So put on the best that you can, because there are people out there who are on the borderline of very deep depression. And when they look at you and they see your problems on your face, that deepens their problem. So it's not that we don't have problems here when we come in front of the media, but we can't afford to put a negative, because we are impacting thousands and thousands of people who may be looking at this broadcast. So we start off on a high note. We start off, you hear it in our voice, you see it in the smile on our face. But it's not because everything all right with them, they ain't got them bread butter up on two sides, that's why they ain't gonna smile, but they don't got a problem where I got. No. Don't take it like that. We have our own problems in our own way. Problems are not necessarily always only one type of problem. There are many different types of things that can create a problem for somebody in their life. Even sometimes the very rich people. If you're a very wealthy person, you've just made your first million in the last year or two, and then you find out that your wife has cancer and that she has a limited time to be here. All the millions that you have will not bring that back. So you can't smile and walk around as though everything is all right just because you got $1 million. You got problems, but you have your own particular problem that is a problem to you. The man who can't even make $1,000 over on 3 or 4 or 5 months in his budget has his kinds of problems too. So the problems, regardless, when it becomes a problem, it is your problem. Regardless to what is the source of your problem, it is a problem. So I'm saying all of that to say that we can't, don't misunderstand when we come here, and I think it's not just myself, but most hosts in Belize, when they try to start their program, they try to start it on a high note, a good note, to make sure that we put on a positive, because all things are possible to solve if we put our mind to it. But sometimes at the moment, it just don't seem like we can overcome that. So I thought I would share that this morning, because sometimes people say, look, man, it's always starting to smile. Most you joke in the morning, them Bali, they got things good. It's not that. It's ensuring that we don't contribute to sometimes very depressing situations. For example, one of the major problems affecting us in this country today is affordability. And when I say affordability, we normally think about people where they have a pantry and people where can't. No, man, there are people who are bringing in hundreds of dollars a week. And that hundreds of dollars a week is gone before they even turn around. Why? Because of the cost of living at the lifestyle that they have. It's important to understand this idea of affordability, another word for inflation. What is inflation? You know, when you inflate one tire, it gone from flat to big, that means you put in something. Well, then you put in something in at the prices inflate. So when you talk about inflation, that's just one fancy word for we can't afford it. It's too high, it's too expensive. And so when they use that deep recession and inflation and all of these things here, it confuses us because we're not used to that language. But what we are used to is that when we go to the market, we try to buy one simple thing like sweet pepper, we grow out of the ground where you could grow right in your backyard. It's now at $4.75 a pound for sweet pepper. Cabbage, cilantro, things that grow, and we have to go depend on it in the market and pay these atrocious prices. So the big question for everybody nowadays is affordability. And yes, there are some of us that are living at different levels economically than others. But it is not a question of, well, if you got $1,000 and your expenses are $1,500, that you are right. No, you in bad shape too. Welcome, caller. Welcome, caller. All right. Yes, caller. Welcome.
Okay. I never get you. Morning, brother. Man,
yes, sir.
Brother Nuri, what you just say? The real.
It's affecting all of us, Mr. Torres. Everybody is affected by this, you know?
I know hear you, brother Nuri.
Yeah. Go ahead and make your point, my brother.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't know if every day, every week, but constantly prices increasing. And when we produce, we say we can't produce as we wish because of climate change. Everything we blame. We blame the climate change, right? We're not trying to find one method for brace the climate change. So then get away. Why we can't disable because of climate change? Too much rain, too much sun. Well, find one avenue that you could, shade away these difficulties. All we do that blame. That's why, yes, I agree with you. We have to learn how to stretch the dollar because the dollar is nothing again. One time, we don't make $10 now, $60, $70. Anyway, I agree with you. Conversations like these I like listen to because I witness it on a daily basis.
Some people consider this type of conversation depressing because, man, I don't got problem. I don't want to hear about more problems. But we're not bringing it up for problems' sake. We're not doomed.
I agree with you. I agree. Conversations like these healthy because we have to learn how to use the dollar now. We have to break it in pieces.
Yes,
I agree with you. Take care. Enjoy your weekend, brother.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Torres. Everybody is having their own struggle, as I said. And sometimes money is the problem, I would think, for the majority of us. It is not the problem for all of us. There are some people who are living at a level economically that they are not impacted by some of these financial issues. But it does not mean that they are free of problems, because problems is not defined by economic issues. Problems can be all kind of things. A man could be struggling with look. We just saw the news that there are men, predators, that in the newspaper, Mandala, by the way, Mandala is out for this week. 3 different incidents of rape. Down up Toledo, up the Corozal, and one of the rape of a daughter, stepdaughter. I mean, look at the madness that we are dealing with here. Is that about the inflation? Is that a financial problem? It could be a socio-economic problem. But is that problem there, you, a man, go take advantage of not only a child, but your child? What kind of craziness is going on inside of our soul, man? That is the reason why in some jurisdiction, they cut off your thing when you rape people, Cut off your penis. We don't want to go that drastic, but I guarantee you do 1 or 2 of them there, you don't got no rape. And that's why in some countries you don't hear about no rape. Why? Because people deal with you in a way that you are violating a woman or violating a man because they rape man too. Worse though, when you're taking advantage of a child, forcing a child, compromising a child, giving children money so that they won't tell. All this kind of mad craziness going on our morality is on check. Our morality is on check. And this is why you find some people say, aha, then call that karma. You're so bad over here that finally something catch up with you because of your badness. That's our moral equation. We call it karma. You hear people say, I left it up to that man upstairs. It's that karma concept that we know that badness will not go without being checked. And if you make badness go without being checked, then you're responsible for what comes as a result of the repercussions of badness. So when we see badness, including inside of ourselves, we need to check it. If not checked, it becomes normalized. And then we begin to hear a man sit down the bar and talk about, yeah, boy, get a lead one day, yeah, they watch the lead one day. But why that thing still they got a ACC or still got a West? You think I care? Watch out. I want to deal with that later. My brother that I want to lead 13, 14 year old. Yeah, but she look like she want it. No, you don't want it. You want it because you're the give money and you're the encourager in that situation. I'm talking about public officers. I'm talking about police officers. I'm talking about so-called society people sit around at the bar drinking a few guineas, and this is where they talk about, God a legal boy, when you want to get yours. So this sickness in of we culture cannot go uncountenanced. We can't continue, and then like Torres said just now, as soon as somehow, by the government, because of the government, you don't look on yourself. That you are contributing to a moral decadence that keep us in a bad frame here. Can't get blessings because we got so much own in here with a bad-minded people where they hide your badness. It's 7:30. We'll stop now for our 2 cents cam for today. Our sponsors of 2 cents cam, which is brought to you by Brick City, by the way, is Fort Point Security.
Friday. Big up the entire Belize City. Big up Evan Exide. Yeah. One love. Tell the boss I said peace.
Yeah.
That's it.
My best friend.
Who else?
My cousins.
Who else?
My mom.
Who else?
My pa.
Who else?
My boss.
All right. Who you big up?
Big up everybody on the Friday.
Big up Friday. Who you big up?
My wife, of course.
Big up Friday. Who you
big up everybody on the Friday because we're there.
All right.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, Nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, 'cause anything you want, you could request it, 'cause you
Unlimited, Toast, Miney, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yas Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stig the Artist,
every girl want me, sunny or stormy, money no
NTR Shine, With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, exclusive sounds, backed to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Friday morning. It's the last day of the week. And we have a power interview lined up for you this morning with a Belizean, a professional Belizean. Grew up right here, we call Port Loyola. She's Caroline Gently. She's Dr. Caroline Gently. She's an academic professional known for her work in social services as well as criminal justice. She's affiliated with the university, the Butler University, which we'll talk about today, that is in Indianapolis, Indiana. And she's involved there with research and teaching, but as I said, she's also been elevated to be the dean of that university in a special program that we'll talk about today. Carolyn's area of expertise often includes topics of restorative justice, community engagement, and social justice, particularly for those marginalized community. Welcome, my sister Carolyn. We appreciate you being here. Yes.
It's a delight and pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I don't want to just big you up as a qualified and successful Belizean who I've known for so many years. We'll deal with that afterwards.
You've been a good mentor as well.
Yeah, I want to start with where you are now. I've read up on your recent advancement into this very prestigious level of being the dean of this university, particularly in the Founders College of the university, which is a specialized program. Can you tell us first a little bit about the history of that university? I know it was started by an abolitionist. I know it was one of those areas where Africans and women were able to get education outside of the usual established criteria for academic qualification in the States. So Butler University has been known to be a pioneer university. And now I'm being told that with this project that you are head of, this Founders Project, that it's going even further into serving the community. And also nothing else about it, I want you to give us now.
I think you definitely summarize it in a nutshell, and you're absolutely right. Butler University has existed for this year. Actually, they celebrate 170 years. 170 years of just being pioneers, leaders, bold education, bold opportunity for all. And that's what we're continuing. One of the key things with Founders College that we're launching is, and I'm proud and humbled that I get the opportunity to build this college from scratch, right? And that means that we looked at what was going on across the world, across the US, specifically here in Indiana, and identified where is there a gap? What are the gaps? How can we fill that? And how can we show up for our Hoosiers, those right here in Indiana? My president talks about serving those right here at the edge of campus. And that was one of the key factors, because as you know, and many others know, we've gotten to a point that college has become really expensive. Going to university costs a lot of money. And as a result, we price out those who are not able to afford, but not that they're any less smart, any less have any less ability, right? These are high ability students who can do amazing things if cost was removed as a factor. And I'm a testament of that. You talk about growing up in Belize City with next to little to no resources. And that's where I came from. And if I didn't get an opportunity like this one, where barriers were removed, I would not be where I am. So my story is the story of many Belizeans, many Hoosiers, and many who have sacrificed to go to college. And I want to make sure that I make one more point here that may come up as a key question. So Founders College is a 2-year associate degree program priced to put college within reach. That means it's not necessarily that we went out and removed all costs. It meant that once students qualify for aid here in the U.S., which averages around between $5,000 and $15,000, the cost of going to Butler University is about $48,000 if you don't live on campus. And that $48,000, so if somebody brings in $5,000 to $15,000, the university is giving them a merit grant. So it's not free, but the university is choosing, as it makes this bold move, to cover the cost of education.
Very good, very good. I know something about Indianapolis, Indiana, and I know that it's a highly stratified area, a lot of poverty. But you're pointing out something which
but also for racing, right? So
all right, well,
yeah, we have some other good stuff.
I hear you keep using Hoosiers. What is a Hoosier? Is that a football name or something?
It's just the way that they refer to the individuals who live in Indiana.
I see. Well, the important part, and I started off our program this morning about talking about affordability. Just generally people trying to survive the rigors of feeding their family and paying their responsibilities, rent and water, etc., etc. But education plays a major part of affording life, because it is no longer a time that we could survive, even in Belize, with just a primary school education. Even a high school education is becoming not that big a thing now. But moving beyond that, as you know, you've experienced it, is very expensive. So what I am understanding that you are doing there as the Dean of this Founders College in the Butler University is to create an environment where those students who are academically qualified but not able to afford the costs, you're providing that wherewithal that they're able to get in. I understand also, Carolyn, that the program is a new program. It's just getting launched or just getting started.
Yeah, this is day 3. Yep.
So it just got started.
Literally, yes.
All right. Very good.
Yeah,
very
so
good.
I was hired about a year or so ago after coming from 20 years at Indiana University. So for those who follow the academic track, I moved from finishing my PhD, and that was because I taught at the University of Belize before coming over here to the U.S., taught at UB, taught at University of the West Indies as well. And when I came here to do my PhD, I continued teaching. I then moved up into that rank, beginning as an assistant professor, moving on a tenure track, moving into an associate professor, making sure that I got promoted to and tenured. And then after that, I moved into being a full tenured professor. And that in itself is a feat, right? So there are not a lot of full tenured professors. Many professors themselves retire at an associate professor level. So to get to that pinnacle of what it is to be a professor was key. I also then moved into different roles on campus, right? Particularly into the online academic fellow to be able to help the IUPUI, IUI campus to offer online degrees. I then moved into a new role, an inaugural role at Indiana University, managing across all 7 universities, 2 co-locations and fully online. And in that role, as an assistant vice president for university academic policy, I helped to build degrees. In fact, to my credit and my team's credit, we were able to build over 1,200 degrees, minors, programs. We sunsetted degrees, built new colleges, built new units, working again across those 7 universities. So I bring a broad breadth and depth of experience, but prior to that, I was also the director of the undergraduate program for social work on the Indianapolis campus. And so my experience and ability to bring these components together moved me into this role. So when I was invited to apply for, and it was advertised nationally, so I came out as one of the strong candidates, did my on-campus interview and moved into then this inaugural role as a founding dean. A founding dean means that I get to build the entire college from scratch. I get input on the curriculum. So we built 4 degrees: business management, data analytics, youth and community advocacy, and healthcare. And those degree programs span 224 courses. I also then got to build and work with our HR team to identify what positions I wanted to hire, what those job descriptions would look like, and then we went out and hired 10 faculty and staff all across. And we literally then built the application, the website to get students to apply, the evaluation criteria, the placement tests, and get all of those students in. In fact, we spent a lot of time even just picking out furniture, identifying where would we have the space, what would it look like, how would it feel when somebody walks in. And the last piece, before I turn it back over to you, was we also thought about, yes, cost is removed as a factor, but what are the things that are just random challenges that influences someone's success? And we went on a mission to remove the randomness of student success. that meant we added a social worker right here in the same space. We hired our own financial aid advisor. We hired our own career person, so it would ensure that students get all the necessary skills, get a paid internship, and get the full support. We hired our own dean, our own associate dean for student affairs, associate dean for academic affairs, so that everything the student would need would be right here. We also then, once they get admitted, they get a free laptop with all the fixings that they need and a 3-year warranty. They get parking passes, so parking is not a concern on campus. We cover all of their textbooks, and we also provide a meal on campus to ensure that they will be supported.
Wow, that is a huge package there, Carolyn. I almost want to find out when are you going to transfer that to Belize, but hold on. I'm going to take a break and come back, and we want to explore, because that is an extremely attractive package, and I want to know how successful you've been and what's the size of those that you've been able to attract to your program. Just hold on and we'll be right back.
To earn V-Bucks, you must make purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities near you. The more you spend, the more you earn. You also get double the V-Bucks on promotional days. Multiple purchases completed in a single day cannot be combined and will be considered separately. Benny's is committed to offering you competitive prices on all your purchases. Now value is added with V-Bucks. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with V-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I can help right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and I have to admit, we've got our beloved sister, Dr. Carolyn Gentle Genety. She is the dean of a recently developed program called the Founders College within the Butler's University in Indiana, where she has been a professor for some years. We congratulate her for having been qualifying herself, no favors, nobody never gave her nothing. She applied just like everybody else. She became one of the top of the list, and following her interview, she got the job. Carolyn, I'm proud of you, and I'm so proud because it doesn't only show us what young people can do, but my bias is that it shows what is the potential in so many of our young people here. I'm sorry to take you back, but I remember you over 30 years ago. Young, ambitious Carolyn over there by Port Loyola. And the struggle of you and your family. Struggle of you and your family, Carolyn. But you know what I remember you as a young youth leader? None of your environment bothered you. You were reaching for the sky. When I met you, I said, man, this is potential waiting to happen. And look at you now, 30,
Thanks
almost
for the
40
belief.
years
Amen.
later,
Yes,
you are an
yes. To God be the glory.
person. To God be the glory indeed. So I want to see if we could turn that around.
Yes.
And while we're highlighting what is going on at Butler University in the United States, I really want you to relate your success and the success of Butler University's Founders College to the struggling university student here in Belize, or even a high school girl and boy, who sometimes, we started the program this morning with the fact that many of our people are depressed because they look at their situation and say, how will I ever get out of this? Is there any hope for me? I don't got no college, I don't got no scholarship, we roof the leak, we still depend upon the area representative, we give me money. And so many young people cannot have the hope that they can accomplish and reach the level of becoming a doctor and a university professor. But if they see how somebody like you, who had all the challenges that they are facing today, was able to overcome your challenges despite and reach the top, the pinnacle of your aspiration, that is what I want you to speak to. And I can't say that a lot of young people listen to these programs because these are not attractive. And you know, even in the States, their programs not attractive to young people at all. I mean, they're into something faster than this. But for those who might be listening and those who have influence on young people who are listening to you, give us that sense of hope. And I say that because obviously you have not lost your desire to help the underprivileged, because that's what your Founders College is about. Is going and
my
finding
summer bond
those
camp every
young
summer
people
in Belize.
who
Same
were
concept,
just like
yes.
you know. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I want to first give enough glory and thanks to God. A lot of what I do and how I do it is because of relying on a faith that my mom instilled very early, and many of my brothers and sisters are still engaged in. But the key is that I did not let exactly what you describe. I have never, will never let my surrounding dictate my future. I have always strived really hard to do more because I know that I have a faith and a motivation that will get me there. I have always been consistent in asking for help, and that's how I know I met you and we engaged in doing programming and counseling very early. I remember asking you to make sure that I could be one of your counselors as you were working with young people, and you gave me a chance and gave me an opportunity. But if I was not one of those persons who asked, I could have easily been left behind. So one of the first things that I want to be very clear, and it's the same thing I'm doing here at Founders and same thing I do every year when we do our summer camp in Belize, we have to make sure that we're clear with the goal that we want for ourselves, not what other people have set for us. Because I remember going to St. Ignatius and an individual telling me that that's as far as I can go. And I said, no, I want to go to St. Catharines. And they're like, but you can't afford that. We can't afford that. Your parents can't afford that. And I said, well, what do I need to do to make sure I get there? And I remember very clearly working very hard, taking that time, the BNSE, and making sure that I got a good score. Getting to St. Catharines then meant that my dad, who sold food, many of you may remember him as Dougie Fresh, and he got in a bicycle cart, and we rode to St. Catharines to talk to Sister Caritas and ask her whether or not she would allow us to pay for the school fee per week rather than in the yearly process that they had. She allowed me to do that. When I finished St. Catharines, volunteering, serving on all the clubs, playing basketball, playing clarinet, right? I enjoyed my time there and I gave it my best. When I wanted to move on to SJC sixth form, the same was the key. I did not have the money. I ended up with a work study. I was sweeping some of the halls. I remember David Espat as well encouraging me and pushing me even when I had work to do. And that was how I ended up with an opportunity to go to Spalding University. He saw the potential in me and the work that I was able to give and kept saying, if you continue like that, you'd be able to. But one of the things I want to share with your audience is there was a point where people said you needed to get an A in order to get a scholarship. And I thought that would never be me. By the time I finished sweeping and helping and doing just enough, I would never be able to get all A's, but I didn't want it either. I just wanted to do enough to do what I needed to do and get what I needed to get. And when I spoke with, at that time, David Espat, and he spoke to Thomas Oates from Spalding University, and Thomas said, I'm not looking for a whole bunch of 4.0 students who will only focus on academics. I want people who can come and be a part of our community, engage with our students, have fun, create clubs. And that was what motivated me. I got my scholarship to go to Spalding University, but I want to revert back to one situation that was very difficult. When I finished the process, I didn't apply to college beyond sixth form because I thought I could do better. I knew I could, but it wasn't a wish of mine. It was at that time, David Espat, Dean of Students, saying, Carolyn, I can help you sweep this hallway while you fill out this application. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to do some of the work, I'm going to fill out the application. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I will fill it out. And so my big push to anybody listening is your dream is your dream, but also find those people who can fan the flames of your success. For here at Founders College, the students that we have recruited are the same. They have high ability, high hopes. Their parents, some of them can't afford. But we tell them here at Butler, the goal is for you to be a bulldog. Particularly for Founders, we're spelling it DAWGS. Students who are determined, have demonstrated self-motivation, self-discipline. That they have academic ambition, not just the GPA, but you see them studying harder, going extra, going for tutoring, working on the side to make sure they get the best grades. And that they have wit, but wit with personal agency. So not just critical thinking, but that idea of metacognition. How do I think about my thinking? Who is influencing my thinking and going above that? And then the other is grit. Grit with passion. So you're not just working hard to work hard, but you know where you want to head. You have an idea or a vision, and you're working really hard to get there. And the S then is for support. As long as they have people supporting them, whether it's a mentor, a pastor, a friend, or like you, Nuri, somebody that was in the community doing good work and others wanted to come alongside them. Those are the types of individuals, no matter what happens, succeed. I want to make a pivot then to the camp that we do in the summer here in Belize. The camp is a summer bond camp based on social bonding. It's a 15-year research process that I've done. And in the research, what we found is as long as students have some idea of attachment, meaning they're attached to pro-social people, so find a mentor, find a friend, find a colleague, be attached to the things that matter, that pro-social process. Once you do that, and you engage in that, right? So you get involved, you volunteer, you help out in your community. Those two things make a difference. But when you then join, the last is that commitment and you have a belief. Those are the last two. Believe in where you're going, not let the wind change with your vision, and then be committed. Meaning, I spent a lot of time creating clubs. Why can I create a college now? It's not because I'm perfect or I've ever built a college, but I've started a lot of youth groups. I've started a lot of programs. I've started a lot of things that moved me in the direction. My mom, Gloria, and my dad, particularly Dougie Fresh, that a lot of you remember him as. They pushed me to do things, and my mom used to say, sort of the world is your player, and you just do whatever you want to do, and we will try our best to support you. My husband Keith, my husband Keith Gennady from Belize and the Gennady family have also pushed me to say, don't settle for that. Don't dim your light. So it's really not just a selfish process of you jumping in, but it's recognizing, what do I not have and where can I go? And before I kick it over back to you, Nuri, I want to make sure I share one statement. One of the things that I did very, very early is I admit that I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to be pretty. I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be the smartest. All I need to do is to try my best at every single thing that I do. And wherever I go, I need to ask for help and build good relationships. So I have good friends, like particularly lately when I was doing the camp, Tony Chenona sort of helping me through figuring out some processes as well. I had the community come alongside me. I had Sister B, as you remember from early Broster, I did some work with gang development. I worked at the YMCA. There were a whole bunch of people that have helped to make my vision and my reality true. And that's what I want any and everybody, whether young, old, or in between. If you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life, it has to be more than you and more than for you. It has to be for the community. And that's why Butler is leading in this way. We're changing what it means to be a university, because we have stopped thinking just about us, and we've started to think about, what does the entire community need? What does the world need right now? What is the new type of college that we need to build? And that's what we're leaning into.
New type of college that we're trying to build. And as I listen to you, I can hear kind of like the vibes of the 60s when I was in the university environment, which is totally changed from that time. I was in a very, social oriented, giving back to the community, becoming your educating yourself so that you could become a servant of people in the community. That was my orientation of school in the 60s. But I've watched it change.
And that's my Jesuit education, men and women for others.
Yeah, but I've watched us move now from that type of eduque, as Sandra Koye used to call it, to just acquiring credentials for money. And so a lot of our education process now is, to hell with this people thing. You're getting distracted, man. Just focus on making money. And so the universities, and I've watched it because I was able to access scholarships and such things when I went to school, even though I was a green card person. I was not a citizen, I was a green card. But I was able to access loans, grants, etc., to move me through college. You can't do that today. And now when you're talking about it's $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to go to college, that in itself...
And that's for 1 year.
Yes, that in itself is prohibitive. And then you hear the United States Congress and the president, certainly that was one of the platforms of Biden, is to reduce or remove student debts, because there are so many people, my daughter included, 20 years after leaving school, they're still paying back their debts from when they went to school. So it's a completely different environment now. And to hear you trying to take some of these fundamental principles of what education should be back into an institution like Butler University through the Founders College is admirable. And I'm glad to hear that you have been doing summer programs in Belize that sort of bring into focus that same kind of thinking. But how do we institutionalize that in Belize? How do we as I said, there are many of our children who, when you deal with them on a one-on-one basis, they're brilliant, they're sharp, very, very sharp. But when you ask them about social concerns, when you ask them about their neighborhood, when you ask them about the politics, when you ask them about what's going on around you, they almost go to a blank. Not that they don't care, but it just, they don't feel that responsibility to make a difference in that area because they're so focused on, I need to get a job that will pay me this and I will be able to afford this, etc. I'm not saying that is bad. But I'm saying that what is missing is that I'm learning so that I can be more serviceable to the community that I am living in. And I hear you saying that with your objective of the Founders College, that you're not only trying to qualify them academically, but you're trying to return the original objective of education, which is to make you serviceable for people who is well knowledge, you know. So
agreed, 100%. Yeah. I think the challenge though is that it's not an or, it's an and.
All right.
And I think I mean the title of your show in itself, right? That Wake Up Belize. We have to get into a framework of waking up, because I think for a long time, particularly over the last again, even if you go back to the Industrial Revolution and where we are now, I think maybe at least the last 50 years, we have moved into a very selfish way of seeing our existence as citizens in the world. And so it's more about grabbing for self. But what we don't realize is when you step back from that, you pay more in putting up burglar bars and security because you're worried about the other. And if we're not engaged in community and communityhood, much of the individual gain will be for naught. And so the idea of going back to the roots of why is education important? Education is important because we learn about the other. And as we learn about the other, we build a better way of feeling, engaging in life. Right? The joy of life is not things. You're going to die and leave those. But did you have a fruitful relationship? Did you give back? Did you care? Did you leave a legacy that contributed to the community that you're a part of? Do your children see you as somebody that they want to be? And we talked about the camp, and it's the same thing we talk about here. When we engage with our young people and we ask them why they want to be what they want to be, it is very rare that they choose a local Belizean. They have not been raised on understanding the sacrifices that their family members have made for them in this entire community. They spend a lot of time on digital platforms that they see individuals other than themselves. And so what they want to be are individuals other than themselves. And when you ground it into a society that values each other, we want to be like each other. And that's my ultimate dream and vision. And that's what I've been working, at least over my decades of my little existence, of really just being humble and recognizing I love my mom. I love that she worked real hard and ran the police canteen, and a lot of the police officers know her, right? She fed them good food. So here, even at Founders, we made sure that food is a part of the process because that was important. We engage with community partners, so all of our students will get a paid internship. We've identified almost 25 employer partners that on our first day of class, they were here cheering them on, saying, when you're ready, you can do an internship here, right? That's the community that I grew up in, that I value and support. And that's what I think our whole world needs. That's the new version of college. It's not about the cost and selfishness.
Hold on, Dr. Genety. I got to come back to you right after this break, but believe me, this has gone beyond just the inauguration of the Founders College. This is hopefully revving up a whole lot of us here in Belize, because you're bringing that sense of hope that the process is not futile, that there is something about getting up in the morning and moving forward despite the challenges. There is something there at the end of your struggle. So stay tuned. We'll come back and further the conversation.
Make every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, 'cause anything you want, you could request it, 'cause you
Unlimited, Toast, Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist, NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, back to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Friday morning, and we're in the midst of an interview with Dr. Genety. But before I go back to the interview, let us put the brakes on and say extremely happy birthday to our sister Kuna. Miss Kuna is one of our loyal listeners. As a matter of fact, she is a family here at Cremandala. She's living abroad, but she's a regular listener and texter to this program. And so, blessings to you, our sister Kuna. All right, our discussion this morning is with Dr. Caroline Genety. She is a professor at the Butler University in Indianapolis and has been there for some time. And she applied for a special program that they were to launch, which is called the Founders College. She qualified for that position, and now she is the dean of that position to start the apparent new season or new semester, I guess you'd call it, that just started a few days ago. And your aim was 50 students. How many did you start with?
We started with 67 students from 29 high schools to 29 area high schools in Indiana.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So 67 students.
All right. But I know that you're aiming, according to your document here, you're aiming at 100 students. You expect to reach that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we will eventually reach that. In fact, next year we're hoping to bring in 150 students more to have this beautiful experience at Founders where cost is removed and full supports are added.
Yes, I think that need to be spread. Are you just focusing on Indiana as a state, or do you expect to expand that invitation beyond that state?
An excellent question. There's always a wish to expand. So the answer is definitely yes. But because we're literally in the inaugural year and I'm serving as the founding dean, so building out this college, we are staying right here within Indiana until we can do a full proof of concept, get all the key pieces in that we need. So yes, long term, we would spread.
And are there other universities in the states that are, I wouldn't say mimicking your program, but having programs like this?
Agreed. So far, using the model that we're using, it's just a Come to Believe model. We have 3 other universities that are experimenting with it. And this model is really a 2-year degree program or 2-year college embedded within a 4-year university structure. So it's a model that many others across the world, even in Belize, can definitely put in, where students are graduating with an associate's degree, but they're offering intense wraparound services. One key piece that I want to put in there too is when you think about this model, normally when a student is doing a 4-year degree program and they're going fast and they finish in 3 years, we celebrate and lift them up. In reality, if we peel that back, that student is completing 6 semesters. And that's why instead of 8 semesters, which is a typical 4-year degree program, they're completing 6 and they're going faster. Our 2-year degree program, students are still completing 6 semesters, but they're doing fall, spring, summer. So they're going rapidly and fast. And so they must have, be able to stand or withstand the same rigor and pace as a typical degree program, and at some instances even higher. So the GPA starts off at a minimum of a 2.0, but this year we had students from 2.5, from a 2.5 all the way up to a 4.0. So we have damn good, talented students who would not have gone to college if cost was not removed.
Yeah, indeed. Can I move you away again because of your sociology, psychology background and you being on the ground working with young people? I want to ask you a question that is away from this specific subject.
Of course.
We've been seeing once again this idea of young people being involved in mass shootings, right? The latest being, I think it's Minnesota. And the young man who now it's being revealed obviously had some very challenging mental issues that he was dealing with his own sense of self. He was a transgender and said that he feels that he's confused himself to identify with being a transgender. Clearly, when you read some of the things that they allegedly said he had written and was exposing, he needed help. And he did what he did, took a high-powered rifle and shot into a church, killing 2 and injuring 17. My point to you and question is, the issue of mental health among our young people, all of our people, but among young people in particular, the fact that many of them don't have the guard railings of moving in a specific direction. Maybe their parameters are so wide open that it's kind of like go anywhere you want, think anything you want, as compared to us who were being raised with some guard railings that, yeah, you could think like that, but you're not going there, you want to stay right here. That seemed to have been removed from many kids in the States. So now it's all kind of things.
But it's not only been removed for those in the States, it's been removed for all of us. And again, that's the shift to the digital world. And with that, then we are all our kids. And right now you see 1, 2, 3-year-olds with the device in front of them where they're only being educated by that device and not spending as much time with community. But I want to go back to a key point that you said. So it's about mental health. And I think people think all sorts of stuff when they think mental health. If I can erase that and help us start over, it's to understand that mental health is the health of the mind. That's all it is. And the question then is, are we spending enough time paying attention to the health of the mind as we do the body, as we do our sickness, as we do our regular lives? And the answer is no. And we have not done that. We have not done that across the world. We haven't done it well, particularly in the last couple of years. What we see then are young people not knowing how to train their mind, how to activate the mind in positive ways, how to be able to deal with depression, anxiety, worry, concern in ways that are appropriate. And that's because as a society, we have chosen not to have those conversations out loud anymore. So they don't have a lot of role models of how to deal with it. Like, for instance, myself, I went through a lot about, if everybody's telling me I'm not smart, maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I shouldn't try that hard, because then it'll be easy to keep up with the perceptions of what they have of me. When I studied and I have to memorize things, my anxiety was super, super high. No, my family never understood what anxiety was very early. It was only when I got into my own educational experience as a social worker to be able to understand anxiety and to understand what leads up to a lot of that. There are a lot of us as adults right now are walking with walking zombies with anxiety, whether it's speaking in front of someone, talking to our supervisor, asking the boss for a raise, right? We have all these anxieties, but we're not teaching ourselves nor students how to do that. And what we have compounded that environment with is a shifting change in identity. We've allowed them enough space to grow and be who they are, which we want to do. We're not taking that away. But what we haven't done is paid attention to, as they shift, to provide those guardrails to say, if you shift in this direction, here's some of the things that you're going to experience, some of the things that you're going to encounter. We haven't done a good job of that. And mind you, I spent a lot of time in Belize working with the social work department. In fact, I was a part of the good team with Ava Pennell and several others building the associate's degree program, moving into the bachelor's program.
Roy Boyne and all of them, yeah.
Yes, Roy Boyne as well. You were a part of some of that work as well. So we spent a lot of time very early on working on the need of having a social work program in Belize to respond to some of these aspects, and also for those individuals to be placed in nonprofit organizations. What we also saw is as the curriculum shifted in the U.S., Belize wasn't shifting as quickly as it needed to. And so I worked again to make sure that those finishing the bachelor's of social work program in Belize City or in Belize in general could transfer those credits over here to the US so that they could get top of the line type of experiences to bring back at that master's level to be able to help the country. But again, going back to your original question, yes, we are having a huge crisis with health of the mind because we haven't raised children about how to deal with emotions. And this is where, to all adults, we may think we are smart enough to deal with anxiety, depression, worry, but we are not. And here's one of the reasons why we are not. We haven't been trained, but more so, what we know and how we identify and describe emotions, we learned in kindergarten. We still use mad, sad, glad. We haven't moved beyond that. And so young people themselves don't know how to deal with those emotions because we ourselves don't know how to teach them appropriately.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Carol, I'm the listener in this conversation, obviously, and I really appreciate it because this is the level of conversation that we need to have. It is not dealing with fantasies. It's not dealing with conjectures, speculations. It's dealing with reality. These are the real issues. When you say the amount of people that are burdened by their anxieties for little small things, they want to ask what is rightfully theirs, but they're afraid to ask because they're not sure.
Exactly.
I mean, unnecessary. And then what anxiety does to your metabolism and what your body is actually going through with stress, we don't realize we're killing ourselves, you know. So
and we don't recognize that stress lives in the gut. So we end up with diabetes and all these other things that we think there's some magic pill out there that will come and fix it for us. But the anxiety is still there. So you take more and more and more of these pills that end up damaging your body and your system.
Indeed. Or what you do now is you start to self-medicate, which is something that we've been doing for quite a few years. I mean, with white rum, with some form of alcohol, some kind of, even weed became not so much for recreation, but just to cool my head so that I can deal with some of these stress that I'm dealing with. And a lot of our people don't understand the dynamics of what's going on there. Oh, they're not just weed smoker. Medication, because they try to deal with certain stress. Whereas this one over here, we could afford it. Go to a doctor and the doctor prescribes a pill that gives you the same effect that the marijuana gives you, but this one, the $5 for the bag, and this one, the $30 for the pill.
Absolutely.
So we don't understand the dynamics of what's going on in our society.
And we're even making an assumption about them going to the doctor. Many of our individuals now don't even have a doctor. They don't even go to the medical facilities to get support, whether it's a social worker, counselor, or even a medical doctor, right? So that there's a gap there. The other piece that you mentioned about the shooting, and I want to be clear with the school shooting, it's easy to say that it's in another country or in another place. But we have a lot more fights, a lot more bullying happening right in our own buildings. And one of the things that I hate, and it really gets me really, really upset, is only when it turns into something negative do we hear people say, well, the signs were there. They showed this. They didn't show up. They were aggressive. They didn't do this. They didn't show up in class. Well, why aren't we putting in systems that help us to identify those systems or those symptoms earlier? Before there's a school shooting, before there's a bullying, before somebody else gets hurt. And that's because we have not, and I'm harping on this, we have not ourselves been trained simplistically. This is not going to get a college degree, understanding what are emotions, how do emotions show up. When the movie, I think Emotions came up, and a lot of people are now talking about anger. Normally, you don't find anger in the list of mad, sad, glad. That's an advanced level of emotion.
I hope we're not losing you because it went down in my ear just now, but I'm hoping that we didn't lose what you said just now, Carolyn. But just to be safe, can you repeat that, please?
No, that there's a lot that's going on right now. We have not been managing or paying attention to the symptoms of emotions that may lead to a school shooting or that may lead to bullying or some other process. And it's because even teachers themselves in those school systems don't know how to identify when emotions escalate. We don't have simple questions. And something that we could put in the school system right now is if somebody's is mad or they're breaking up or throwing a chair, simply pulling that person aside and asking them to name the emotion. And if they just said, I'm mad, then you do one other question. Why are you mad? Well, because I'm frustrated with this. So, okay, if you're frustrated, and we know frustration is unmet expectations, what is the frustration based on? Right? Helping and training students and individuals to unpack emotions so that they don't get to a volcanic level and then escalates into something that we cannot control, like death.
Yeah. We, you know, it sounds like what you're saying is that we need to make sure that those mentors, which are called teachers, educators, that they too are trained in addressing those issues when they see those triggers around in the student. Because if you're not trained, you will dismiss it and say, that's not my problem. I'm here to teach maths. I don't want to deal with that. Yet you might be saving a life. I am on a chat group, and one of the members of the chat group yesterday highlighted something that he witnessed by a high school where a group of boys from outside, moving like a crowd, attack this student. And as is the typical thing nowadays, nobody no fight one-on-one. Everybody crowd this one boy, and then they kick him, beat him, knock him down, things like that. But the rest of his student colleagues were all around, feel me, and making sure that they could
probably recording on their phone.
The first one to put it on YouTube or whatever. So, you know,
But that's bystander training, right? How many of us have gone through bystander training about how to intervene, who's calling somebody, who's getting a hearing adult, who's getting somebody to respond. The students are, again, they're selfish beings. So they themselves are worried about, okay, as long as I am safe, I can watch from afar, I can do X, Y, and Z. But they're not worried about their community. And that person should have been a part of their community that they would have been able to comfortably.
It was a fellow student. Was a fellow student.
Exactly.
And you know, you're not even coming to his aid and allowing him to be beat up like that. That could be you. But what I'm saying, Carolyn, is it's going gradually in our region now. We have not had no mass shootings. That seems to be an American phenomenon. This idea, they say it's having access to guns, etc., etc. I believe it's more than that. But what I'm saying is that that breaking point has not reached us within the region. So you won't hear anybody climbing up on a building in Jamaica and shooting people. You won't find anybody in Trinidad going into a classroom and slaughtering people as we see in the United States. But we are seeing an increase of violence. We are seeing now that it's not that easy to cool your temperature down, and that when you want to fight, you want to kill fight. You know, my days you fight, you knock wrong, and then you go away, you're kind of bloody and walk away.
Stick knife,
no,
stick
we
and
want
knife
to
used
kill
to be
you.
the past.
We want to kill you, you know. So,
but you're absolutely correct. I want to make sure that I put a pin in that one. You're absolutely correct. I did a 5 Caribbean country assessment with CARICOM to assess some of these same key factors, and gun violence did come up. And the U.S. does showcase, because of the way that they socialize their kids, whether for hunting or other, they have access to guns. They are in the house, and it's seen as a social way of engaging, whether it's a activity or not or other. But in other areas, a gun is considered safety for self or protection of family or protection of self. So only when they feel that something is coming at them would they go and get a gun or do something else. But they would not use a gun to go and bring harm onto a larger community, because that's not the community that's actually creating the concern for them. It'll probably be a one-to-one revenge or something to the other. Yes.
Well, in America, I have said many years ago, even before it started to become a phenomenon, that America is a real Roy Rogers society. They quick to draw the gun, and it became an acceptable behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that you're pulling a lethal weapon and you're going to kill somebody, but it was nice. Boy, he pulled the gun faster than the next one, and so killing became inculcated in that American value system, and I'm glad you're pointing it out.
That was the Western culture, right? The gun and scabbard and yeah.
It is very Western, but I am saying you don't see as much in France, Germany, and these places as much as you see in the United States. Of course, they are saying they have zero tolerance on selling guns and etc., and they're blaming the United States for not doing that. But there is a cultural thing about being inclined to solve your issues with violence that seem to permeate in the United States much more so than in some other areas. Anyway, Carlin, we only have 10 minutes more, so now let's go back to funders. And by the way, I know Indiana when I was there, a very, very poverty-stricken area, particularly Gary, where I was.
Yes, Gary, Indiana. Yes.
And so I know the type of clientele that you're drawing from there, and kudos to you and Butler for reaching out and trying to make a difference in that very depressed area. Do you have any Belizean students in your program yet, or do you see an opportunity for a partnership with one of our universities here, UB or even SJC, to send their, or Galen, to send their students over there for a continuation? Now, I recognize that your Founders program is an associate program, and they may already be doing that here. But is there any partnership of which Belizean students may benefit, or do you have any Belizeans?
Nuri, if you know me well, I'm a visionary leader, so the answer will always be yes. I see potential, I see possibilities, but I also know that we're building brand new right now, and so that will be in the future, if at all possible. We don't have any current students right now. In fact, we have a couple colleagues who are here at Butler that are enrolled. So I think Stephen Swift, my good friend at RF&G, is actually in the master's program here at Butler University, doing some of that program remotely. So yes, there are possibilities for partnership, but I want to span out broadly. So Galen already has a partnership with the University of Indianapolis here in Indiana. So they have been working for quite a while in that partnership, and there are other colleagues who have come to engage in other work at IU. So we've had some IU colleagues, in fact, some of the Changs and Sam and Kwan and others have graduated from our IU system here in Indiana. So Indiana is not a stranger to Belize. I think over time we can work better to have more options for students to come and explore. But I also want to make sure that I put a plug for Belize. So I go to Belize every 6 months. So every 6 months, summer and Christmas are my two times that I'm in Belize. And there's a lot that Belize still has to offer. So UB, SJC, particularly SJC that has its own bachelor's program now, it offers a lot of what we're already offering. But I think what could be added, that we are adding here at Founders, is that full wraparound service so that individuals are not floundering trying to figure out what their next pathway is and who can help them get there. So if there's an opportunity to do that now that doesn't require dollars, but really just the sharing of expertise, I am ready and willing to do that.
All right. I'll ask you to give a link as well as a phone number so that anyone who would want to pursue this further can reach out to you and see what the possibilities are. Can you give us a number that they might be able to?
Absolutely. There's no number, but there's a well, I guess we could find a phone number if necessary, but founders.butler.edu is the website.
Okay.
That they can definitely make sure they reach out to us. And the email or the phone number is 317-940-2016.
Okay, very good.
And if you have questions or comments at all, I think if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out. My email, I know it's a hyphenated last name, but both of them are Belizean last name. So it's cgentle, Gentle, and then Genity, GENITTY, at butler.edu. C gentle Genity at butler.edu. If you have questions, comments, concerns, and one of the things that I will be remiss, Nuri, if I didn't share, is that I have also been a good mentor to students who just want to study broadly. They don't have to choose Butler as the institution. We would love that. Yeah. But if they just have questions about how do I fill out an application? What are my college options? Where do I go? Am I even college potential? How do I write the essay? What are the things that I need to get to apply? All of those questions, I have held sessions by Zoom to help students, by WhatsApp to talk to parents. So it's an opportunity for all of us that have ever been trained by any external entity. It doesn't have to just be in the U.S., where we can help other young people. I know we are all willing to do that, and I am willing to be one of those persons too.
Thank you very, very much, Carlin. It has been rewarding to talk with you. It's a good feeling inside of myself, of course, but I'm sure anybody that heard this conversation this morning will see the benefit of this program that you're serving there, but also some of your insights into just education in general, I think will be appreciated by our listeners and viewers this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you for providing the space. I hope I show up like the the process and the Wake Up Belize process. But I also want to make sure that I am not just talking from an academic or a researcher. I have a 15-year-old son, right, Caden, very active, very engaged. And at one point he said he didn't want to go to college. And so it was a matter of trying to help him understand what's the benefit of that, the ability to think differently, to be exposed outside of your own family and what you are already used to, right? It helps you think differently, and therefore you show up differently, so your future is changed. So if it's not one of us, find somebody that can help you think differently and find your own path. Indeed. And be the best that you can be.
Dr. Carolyn Genity, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Take care.
Thank you so much. Be well. All the best to you.
You too. All right. We have just enough time now to go to our final break, and then we're gone.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, anything you want, you can request it,
Unlimited, Toast, Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist,
every girl want it, sunny or stormy, money no,
NTR Shine, With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, back to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Use B-Bucks to purchase items at any Benny's location. Spend B-Bucks on items in-store after you have earned them. You can gift or transfer B-Bucks to another B-Bucks member or registered charity. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Welcome back, and we have just enough time to thank you for being with us this morning, the last Friday in this month of August, and we hope that you will stay tuned with us. Our conversation, God willing, continues next week, Monday. Most High should be here in studio, and we hope that you will join us and continue to be a part of this conversation that we have every weekday morning in Belize. Again, we say happy birthday to our sister Kuna out there in California. And we want to thank all of those who tuned in today, particularly a couple of texts that we received from teachers who benefit from what Miss Genety had to say today. It's about education, but it's more than just the education in the classroom. It's the whole paradigm shift that we need to do when it comes to learning and an ongoing lifelong learning to change attitudes and to qualify us to be better people rather than just how to make money. So we hope that Carlin's program will continue to grow, and we hope that more and more students will benefit from that very innovative programs at Founders College inside Butler University. For those who joined us today, we want to thank you for being with us, particularly Dr. Genety for her input, and in the background for providing the show today, Downstairs we have Anthony Grant. Upstairs we have Alexi Bilal. And of course we have the one and only Mr. Clifton Lewis. Belizeans, stand strong and stand firm and do the right things under all conditions. For now, Assalamu alaikum.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No